the moment we start saying, when are you going to believe in God? The first thing on my mind is, I need to go to church, Christianity. That's the first problem. It's like, you don't need to believe in Christianity to believe in God. You don't even need to follow any religion to believe in God. Like this guy said, God is within you, bro. Like you're
the body of Christ.
Yeah. So you just if you being in nature, like alone, just gets you feeling like, okay, there's something bigger than me out here that's controlling. That's God to you,
Boyz Aloud, take 7.
Yo, ladies and gents, welcome back to another episode of Boyz Aloud Season 2. Same host, same great show, but as you guys can see, we have a familiar face back on the show. I have a new haircut. You know what I'm saying? Grandmaster Speed. On my left, your right, I have the host, and over there I have Grandmaster Speed.
What's up, guys?
What's up, people?
Make sure if you're watching, you've watched the other episodes in the season. If you don't know who Grandmaster Speed is from, he was in season 1, The Mandem, a great episode if you haven't watched it already. So make sure you tune into that one. But gents, I have just a question for you real quick. Do you guys know the question, why does good things happen to bad people? No, why do bad people... why do bad things...
Wait, what did you say? You said, why does good things happen to bad people?
No, why do bad things happen to good people? Do you know the question? I've heard it before.
Yeah, I've heard it before.
What's your thoughts on the question? Why do bad things happen to good people?
Yo.
But what defines a good person? Why? I think that's the main question. No one's a good person.
Yeah.
So.
But the question is asked a lot often.
What do you mean no one's a good person?
No one's a good person.
You can. I mean, you're being a good person is not just to everyone, But I can be a good person to you, but I won't be a good person to someone else,
But that means you're not good.
Yeah, but that means you're not good. That doesn't make you a good person.
What do you mean doesn't count?
It doesn't make you a good person.
Because
you can't switch it on and off.
Good is similar to what? Perfect, right?
But that's the thing. I think we can say that we're all not perfect. You understand?
Yeah, we're not perfect.
I think it's a thing of my business with you. You know I'm a good person.
Yeah.
So you cannot say I'm not a good person because my business with you and I.
Yeah.
You know I'm a good person and I know you're a good person. But my business with someone else doesn't concern you. You understand?
True.
So what I see is like someone can say, no, Omolemo's a bad person.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, but the way he treats me is good. But I guess that's your business with him.
Yeah.
But I see him as a good person and I just keep it like that, Rather than just trying to paint you as a bad person because someone else said that you are a bad person, but to me you're a good person.
And then what happens if there's a group of people that say, nah, let's say he's a good person. The other group is like, nah, this guy's a bad person because of A, B, and C. So now how do we distinguish that this guy's a good person?
It's your business with that person. Literally, it's not your concern with the relationship they have with other people. It's literally your business with that person.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think there's no such a thing as like a good person. Then if we put in that, if we're wording it in that context, then there's no such, because if there's people saying you're bad and there's people saying you're good, what means you're good? Like
neither are you a bad person as well. You're not a good person. You're not a bad person.
There's no such.
But do you agree that there's people who are way, way bad? Like, this guy's a bad person, and there's people that he's a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because we can measure that off as like criminals in terms of what the things they've done are bad.
Yeah.
So you can distinguish that.
That's arguable for me.
It's arguable.
But I hear you.
Yeah. The reason I'm asking that question is because a lot of people, when it comes to religion, they're saying, why does God allow bad things to happen to good people?
Yeah.
And there's an argument of saying, what's a good person?
What's a good person? I don't know. People, let's take it to this context in a sense. Like, what's a good, like, when parents say, you have a good child, right? Yeah. It's because why they're doing everything right, they're not naughty or anything. Maybe that's why is that if you follow, I don't know. I know I'm just happy.
You follow what?
If you follow what?
No, I'm saying. Well, wait. You say, like, people say, why does God
allow
to good people?
Like people who don't follow religion, they might sometimes ask, why does God allow bad things to happen to good people?
Or to his people.
Why?
Yeah. That's what. Like they'll say we prayed that we don't get in a car accident, but we got in a car accident. Like such things.
Or we prayed for a good year, but I didn't get a good year. Or I prayed for...
Or I prayed for my family member not to die, and they died.
Or I prayed for good marks and I didn't get good marks.
Mm.
But for me, when it comes to things that you
No,
have control
but
of,
guys, faith comes with works.
Yeah, I was
If
about to
you-
say.
you-
I was about
yeah.
to say something, bro.
Faith goes with works, but you
'Cause
can't pray for something and then
You didn't put in the effort.
but didn't work for it. Yeah, it doesn't work like
How
that.
I viewed, especially with school, I viewed like God will meet me halfway. Like, you know, when you cross the road, there's a middle, right? I will put in my work. I'll like do the best that I can do, and I have faith that God will meet me halfway. And it's been working. You know, it's my last year in high school, so I'm gonna continue that method. But there's another person that's the same as me, but he's not putting the same effort. He's just, you know, he knows he's guilty. He's procrastinating. He's scrolling on TikTok, but he's still gonna pray. And then he gets mad at God when God doesn't answer his question. But I mean, not questions,
His
but
prayers.
prayers. So it's about perception, because a lot of people, when they view religion, they view it as like, now God has control of all everything,
And
or like most things.
and I feel like it's important to understand that God does not owe you anything. Because you can't like necessarily expect to believe that God has like a human mind like you. God is not necessarily like a person that thinks and lives like you do. It's a spirit, right? God is like life itself. The essence of life is God. Like he's everything. He is you, he's me, he's everything around us. You feel me? So I think it's also unfair for people to judge God and say, why didn't he give me this and why didn't he give me that? First of all, faith comes with works. So you can't pray for something but not work for it. And second of all, you cannot judge God as if you judge another human being, because it's not the same. You can't put yourself at the same pedestal as God or on the same level. That doesn't work.
But you see, I have a question now. Like you said, faith comes with work, right? So then, like, what happens to the guy who put in his 100% and then God didn't meet him halfway? How does he feel?
For me, how I view it now, because as a Christian, I view it that, okay, it's not his time yet. Right? It's not his time yet, and God has better plans. But the person who doesn't believe that could be like, nah, they did me an injustice because I worked for it. So that's the thing of, you need to humble yourself, because the fact that you say you worked 100% and you deserve it, you don't deserve it. Just because you worked 100%, just because you did something, doesn't mean you deserve it. It's just that thing of, what's for you is for you. It will happen regardless. If you are going to work for example, a business, you're trying to become an entrepreneur and it doesn't happen, that means being an entrepreneur is not for you at that time. And it's okay. A lot of people think that, especially Christians, I'm gonna be honest with you, Christians think that just because I have God on my side, I can achieve most things. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. If he strengthens you in what is his will, he will. But if it's not his will, he's not gonna strengthen you in what you want to do. So it's a thing of like understanding that for me.
Yeah, I think I understand where you're coming from, where it's like it's not for you. But I think belief comes within you. You know, even if things don't work out, and you still fail at it, there's that belief that this thing is for me regardless. You understand? Maybe it's a thing that I will not get it now. So even with the example that Speed is asking you guys is like, even if you work hard, because I mean, we don't have to go as far like school. You know, you study the whole night and you're still not acing it the way you should be. You understand? What happens there? So now it's a thing that you need to pass this thing. You understand? This thing doesn't define who you are, but it's something that you need to go through.
And you're time bound as well.
Yeah, you understand? You're time bound, but now it's a thing that you're not accomplishing it. What do you say to someone who's going through that? What would you tell them?
So by the way, but is that person blaming God?
No, the person's not blaming God.
Because that won't make sense.
But the thing is, what I'm saying is that you would say, with certain things that don't happen, you would say that it's not for you. You will never know if it's for you or not. You understand? So how will you know that? And I'm just saying that belief comes within you. Only when you decide one day to give up, that's when you understand that it's not for you. But it's not a thing that you would just know, you know what, since it's not working out first time, it's not for me. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why Speedy is saying, Wuti, if you have someone who's at school, who's putting in the work, right? And they're getting everything right. Like they're just putting, but God doesn't meet them halfway. What happens then?
Like I did what my teacher told me to
do.
I did what my tutors told me to do, but
I did what my tutors told me to do.
Like,
I worked hard.
Okay,
what
I want to say something. My fault. We're talking about school now. Let me talk about the school
context.
Let me talk about the school system real quick now. Bro, you know school is built for you that the only way you can fail school is if you don't do anything at all. If you don't study or do the homework that you do, or even put in effort, that's the only way you can feel good. That's the only way you can get, bro, you borderline fail. Like, no, I'm not speaking about you just made it. Like, you failed because you didn't put effort. So now we're talking about this guy who put in the effort, right? He got his A's, he did well, right? But he still didn't make it, right? Bro, that, if you're being, I don't want to say realistic, but if you think about it,
And that's saying that,
opinion.
and God did not meet him halfway. But my question is, how do we know that? How do you know that God didn't meet you halfway, bro? Like, how do you know that?
Yeah.
How like what makes you like gonna okay, God is not meeting me halfway.
Yeah.
Like how do you distinguish that?
Yeah, you can't.
You can't say that. Because how do you know?
It's the same way I would say, like, you don't know what God has planned for you.
Exactly. I
understand?
agree.
And that's why you just believe at what you feel is meant for you. If you want to do business and you're failing for the past 5 years, when you give up, there's maybe when you realize, okay, you know what, it's not for me. But it's not a thing of, you know what, if you fail once,
bro, but you'll find that, bro. But you'll find that when a person tells themselves something is not for them, is when God is telling them
it's not.
No,
you know?
But like that's also like very subjective, because I can remove God from my life and say, hey, I'm in control of everything, bro. Like,
exactly.
I'm gonna put in the work. If I fail, I fail. I don't blame anyone.
Yeah.
I don't put it on anyone. Even when I win, it's me.
It's him.
Yeah.
Because it's I think a big thing that like we miss a lot is that, like, okay, how do I invite God into my life? Like, what role does God play in my life if I still have to do everything?
Yeah.
What's this guy doing?
And the thing is, a lot of people, when they invite God to their life, they limit God. They say, God, I only want you to help me in school, not this. I got it on my own.
And that's how I want us to understand. I want maybe everybody here to understand, maybe to tell us what is God to you before we mess everything up, because I don't think we may have the same perception of God. You understand? I don't think we see God the same way. So how do you see God?
Basically, a source of strength, my provider, in terms of all aspects of my life. I'm dependent on God. I don't think I can do it on my own. And me, I try more or less to resemble what Jesus Christ did and others, the light that he brought to the world, in terms of the characteristics that Jesus Christ has. Try to live that in my daily life, in terms of follow the commandments, just to resemble that. So that's what God means to me. I'm not sure if I answered it correctly to y'all, but for me it makes perfect sense. I don't more or less have to explain it because I know how dependent I am. It makes sense for me. So how I view God won't be the same for another person. And then for you.
I just wanted to ask you quickly, how do you, when you think of God, do you see, like, do you
what image do I see? That's a good question. That's
for me, I don't.
But don't forget about the previous question, though.
No. I'm saying I just want to know, because the way you understand something and the way it is in your life is based on also how you picture it, how you see it. It goes both ways. So how do you see it? Because that will make sense on how you're understanding it working in your life.
For me, it's okay. I will put it like this. For me, what you said earlier. God is the spirit, and I feel like I have the spirit of God within me. You understand that I believe in.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And it's only the spirit of God within me that I feed all the stuff I want that will make me accomplish that. And whether it's the spirit of God that everybody follows, I have my own, and I will be like, my God wouldn't do this. That's the spirit of God within me, and I'll go my own path. But you believe that no, for you, God would do this. So for me, it's like, no, I have the spirit of God within me that I feed all the time, that I listen to within me. And then I believe that me waking up in the morning doing what I have to do is the spirit of God within me making me do that. You understand? So I don't kind of like, for me, it's not a thing of there's a higher power that, that we all have to, worship to. Me, I worship the spirit of God within me. That's what I feel within my soul.
Okay.
And that spirit of God makes me do what I need to do.
Fair enough.
What God is to me, God is more like, I feel God kind of is like I wouldn't want to call it spirit, but definitely an entity that has no form, right? And the moment I feel that you can like put a form on this God, I think it's no more God anymore. Because when we were born, we don't know how we got here. we weren't given we were not given like a manual on how to like live this life and stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like, and I look at like the animal kingdom, right? And I look at how tense the animal kingdom is. There are lions, there are hyenas, there are buffalo, there are springboks, there are elephants. Like, and the sad thing is that like it's like a food chain. Like, one mom's pain is another mom's like pleasure, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, God is not as, I don't like to poeticize this God thing. Like, I feel like he just put us here and he said, fight, guys. Like, honestly, I say it's fight because there are people who are living a life that like you would categorize as bad.
Yeah.
And you are living a life that you think is good, but you are suffering. And you don't know how long you're going to suffer. You may even suffer your whole life. And that guy who is living that bad life, he may go on and lead his whole life in paradise, basically. And then the only thing you have, maybe if you're Christian, is that, okay, in the afterlife, maybe things will be good for me. So for me, the reason why I don't want to poeticize God is that I want to live in paradise right now.
Yeah.
Because this is the only life I know. So after here, I don't know if I'm going to heaven. I don't know.
Because you don't even know how you got here.
Exactly. I don't know how I got here.
So the fact of not knowing how you got here, it influences how you don't know what can happen after.
Exactly.
Okay,
and I think my definition of God almost like is like Speedy's, but then with me, I view God more so as when I think of God in general, I don't think of like, first of all, I don't think of like some man who's like huge and has long hair and wears a cloth and slides or whatever. I don't view God as someone with a deep voice, whatever. And I also don't view God as like more so I just view God as life itself, bro. This very interaction, this very moment is God. Like everything is God. Everything that lives and breathes is God. Everything that has existed, that exists, and that will exist is God. The fact that we're here and we don't know how, like Speedy said, that's God. Like God is works. He's everything around us. That's always working. You understand? That's always there. Boyz Aloud. Like everything is God. Everything has purpose. So I just view God as like all that is God type of a thing. You understand?
So you asked a question of image. Well, how do I view God? Since I'm a Christian,
and like just that's how I view God. That's how I view it.
I respect that. I said as a Christian, I view God. I follow Jesus Christ, God, all of that, right? Holy Spirit. And how I view God when I pray or more or less close my eyes, I imagine the cross or basically that image, right? But now my question is, do you think more or less that now, because all I hear is God, right? We're not specifically talking about a religion. So now do you think that there's a right religion or everyone should just go accustomed to their life, just believing that there's a God?
I once had this conversation with my mom, like I think 2 years ago, and we're like speaking about it, like there's the Christianity, the Hinduism, Buddhist, Islam, the African religion, the whole ancestor thing, and like the Gothic people, the atheists and stuff. And like everyone kind of believes in something, little or big. Everyone believes in something, right? And like I was having this conversation with her and I remember it, and we just came to the, like answering your question, we just came to the conclusion that like everyone is going to like, we all believe in the same God. Listen. The Christian God is the same as the Islamic God, is the same. And look, I'm not saying we're all Christians here. Well, I'm assuming, right?
No.
Oh, you're not Christian. Okay, I'll wait. But like I'm saying, even if people are not watching, are not Christians, you may be Islam, you may be Hinduism, whatever. Like we all worship, and some of them worship like 8 gods or something, if I'm not mistaken. Like there's multiple gods. But I'm just saying, like I don't believe. This is my opinion, that there's more than one God. Nah? But then I also believe that the fact that there's so many religions that all believe in some higher power, me believing that there's only one makes me believe that we're all believing in the same thing, but differently though. That's my thing. That's how I view it. Nah? So everyone, okay, maybe I was mistaken when I said everyone's going to the same place. Okay, maybe I was a bit off there, but I'm just saying like we all believe in that one thing, that higher power. It's all the same. It comes from the same whatever. If that makes sense. So with that, I don't think there's any right or wrong religion, because at the end of the day, you come here and Speedy said we fight. You understand? That's why there's different religions. That's what it is, right? That's what it is. But you need to understand that the world is built to create division, That's why there's different religions, different everything. It's the world is built to create division. So there's no right or wrong. Who's to say Christians are always right? It's just what you believe.
True.
There's no right or wrong religion, and I do believe that we all believe in this higher power that we've never met, and it's there and it exists. Each religion believes that there's this higher power that exists that we all pray to. I don't think there's no right.
So why is it so? Just the belief in God is so unpopular with youth or overall in general? It's even common with adults that don't believe in religion as a whole, because we're looking at it as in the grand scheme of things, just that. So why, if I could ask you, do you think it's unpopular that if you talk about with your mates about God, they're like, bro, God? Nah.
Yeah, I think it's the ambassadors. I'm gonna have to go back to religion, but like the ambassadors of the faith are not. They're not a model representation of the faith itself, right? So like the Bible has the 10 Commandments, right?
Yeah.
It's very steadfast in what it says, but now like the way we like interpret it, we view it as if it's open to a lot of interpretation, and so you now see someone who says he's this, but then he's living a life that's like that.
Yeah.
And like the Bible is very straightforward on like, yo.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think the reason why it's unpopular amongst the youth is that I think people see that like people are not serious about what they're saying. So like I can say, okay, I'm a Christian, but like your way of life is not Christ. Like you said earlier on that, okay, I have to live the way Jesus lived, right?
Yeah.
And there's a certain way he lived. But now another person can come along and say, I'm also Christian.
Yeah. But
I'm not going to live the way you say. And I think it becomes that thing of the youth becomes confused as to how must we live, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem, I think.
Because as I said earlier on, I try to live according to how Jesus Christ did, but it's difficult because he was perfect and I'm not.
Yeah.
And the thing is, with a lot of Christians, it's a thing of, I'm a Christian to this point, but I'm still going to listen to this type of music. I'm still going to go out like that, but I'm still Christian.
Yes.
And the sad reality is that it doesn't work like that. You can't be lukewarm.
Exactly.
You can't dip your toe in and say, I'm a Christian Sunday, Monday to Saturday, I'm not Christian. But who am I as well to say that as well? Like, who am I to say, hey, you can't do that? We're all pointing fingers. We're just all basing it according to the Bible. So unfortunately, at the end of the day, when it comes to Judgment Day, we'll see,
Yeah,
but I think I
also think,
No, you can go.
Now I also just think that why people find it hard to believe in the whole religion aspect of things and the Christianity is like, because some things to some people as of like nowadays it seems untrue. Like, I don't know if we're allowed to speak about this, but like I'm sure people have heard about this in the past. Like, that pastor TB Joshua, the Nigerian one who started like taking like, okay, basically I'm gonna give a quick backstory now.
I say less.
But like if I don't say things, if I say things a bit incorrectly, you guys can correct me in the comments and you guys can do your own research. But like TB Joshua was like this Nigerian pastor. He had his own big church in Nigeria and stuff like that. And like he eventually just became big and big over time. And then like he used that thing that his church becoming big, and it like became big globally. Like people from South Africa going to Nigeria to see this pastor, from England, from different parts of the world, because he could heal people. Like if someone had a broken leg, he could heal them. People on wheelchairs, he could heal them, make them walk. And who was doing that back then? Jesus. So you see what the picture is kind of creating.
Yeah.
That he's that powerful.
Yeah.
And obviously, people kind of started believing it, and people went to that church, and like a lot of things happen. You guys can, there's a whole documentary on it that you guys can watch on YouTube. You guys should go check it out. But like I feel like little things like that, and like in the end people started like, now obviously it was at the end it was all a fraud, it was all a scheme.
Staged.
It was staged at the end, and things like that make people not believe in Christianity.
100%.
And they like, I feel like
100%.
I feel like that's where the misconception and like the whole misunderstanding and the whole the realness of it all, just like that faith thing, people just don't believe in it because they're like, nah, people are doing this now, you understand? And I think that's where also other people lost it. Like Speedy said, the ambassadors are the ones, they don't act in that way.
What they preach.
They're not practicing what they preach. There's so many false ideas to the point where even young people are like, I don't want to believe in this because you see, people are fake, they're overdoing it.
overdoing
like,
it, true.
you understand? So I think that's where.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Christianity is very, very marked. I agree. Like it's marked,
true.
especially in Africa. It's like you see these stunts, you see someone, he passes away, and then he wakes up in a casket. It's just, and it chases you away. I agree. It makes you think that, bro, this thing is like
It's fake.
It's fake.
It's
yeah.
fake, yeah.
So,
And not everybody has that intelligence. You understand? Some people believe in God and they'll believe that, you know. And I'm not saying you're wrong for that, but for me, that's how it goes down to like the spirit of God within me.
yeah.
That's all I listen to. You understand? What you say, I'll be like, you know what, I'm not gonna take it. That's what I choose because the spirit of God within me says something else. You know, that's what I feed.
That's true.
And it's all about what you believe in. Believing is a whole. It has power to everything of how you navigate your life as well. You understand? Because you look at stuff like that guy from Nigeria, TB Joshua. All these days, you'd find that the front was maybe, you know what, they wanted money or whatever the case is. And then you have someone who's Christian and who believes that, you know, but it's like, yo, me, I'm in my own lane, you know. Yes, we all follow one God, like what you said, but like I live a certain way. And like what Speedy said is that you get to a point where like you're even praying that another Christian doesn't steal from you, doesn't kill from you, or doesn't kill you, because that's what's happening. You know, that's the protection that you're praying for. And it's the thing, you know what?
Because like with me, on back to the African thing and all of that, I say, bro, with Christianity, don't follow the preachers. Don't make the preachers the God. Like, don't value them. Like, just value the message that they saying.
But that's also if you believe that message as well.
Because with me,
because I also believe like some preachers have this, they have this power of like thing. But like I don't want us even speak about preachers like that because hey, bro,
I'm just saying like to answer the question, how to for the youth to start believing in God, bro. This is just, bro. You can go to a church, make sure it's a good church. Finding a church is difficult. Make sure it's a church that allows you to understand God better and basically have an aim. Okay, why do I want to follow religion? Okay, then once you know that aim, try to find a church that aligns with that.
With this whole religious thing comes the whole spiritual side and like the worldly things. And like with things like this has lost us and people seem to find comfort and understand worldly things more. Just like believing in like these songs and these artists
like
and praising them and stuff like that. Because like Lil Uzi and them.
Yeah, but especially Lil Uzi. Like, I remember, was it 2017 or 2018 we had that concert where
he said if you listen to me, you're going to hell.
And then people still listen to him.
And people still listen to him because people find easier to understand all these people and praise them rather than praising like God and stuff because it's so confusing to people. You understand? But I guess it also just goes with processing and understanding and how you see the situation. But like,
because the thing is, like the music, Uzi's music and all of that is much more accessible than God content, but
or just like the youth.
It's youth. It's like the target audience. Basically.
Like the youth also does not feed into these kind of conversations a lot. And we find interest and comfort in other types of conversations. You understand?
You having like a TikTok reel and it's just Christian and you just scroll.
You keep scrolling.
It's the thing of that.
Yeah, and all that just came based off the confusion of like, you know, I don't know, bro. It's deep. It's deep, and I guess with this kind of thing, there's not necessarily a solution that we can come to. You know, it's yourself. Like Lesedi said, the way Lesedi believes in God is actually, I never thought of it like that, but I understand why. Like it makes sense to him because to him it's like blocking out all the noise and just believing in myself almost. Yeah, you understand because he believes it's in him. So maybe that can work for some people. No, I can't see that.
I think the reason why like our youth now is like just so gravitated towards like this. I wouldn't want to call it demonic, but like this new age of just things that literally are going like against Christianity and all these things is that the instant gratification of it. So like if I'm like listening to maybe, I don't know, Lil Yachty or someone, I don't know these guys' names. I know if I listen to this guy and I follow the way he is, I'm going to get the girl. I'm going to get the crowd. I'm going to get these friends. I'm going to kind of like put myself in a situation where I'm liked. You see? So then like if you decide to go which is now the unpopular route. Following God is now the unpopular route. If you decide to take that straight and narrow way, a lot of the time people view it as if like you're gonna be lonely now. You're going to be
It's the boring reason.
yeah, you're gonna be misunderstood. And it's funny because the problem with instant gratification is that like you're living for now. But like a lot of the time when you're looking at God, in whichever way you seem to look at God, God kind of like paves the way for the long term, a long life for you. And so I think the problem with the youth is that we're just too
we want everything now.
Yeah, it has to happen now.
Yeah, and it links with what he's saying, because also with God, it's a patience thing. You have to wait. You have to wait. Like you're not gonna pray now and then like.
Yeah.
You're not gonna pray now and it's gonna happen tomorrow.
It happens for like some people, but it doesn't happen for
because
everyone.
it goes back to that thing, like faith comes with works. You pray and you have faith and you work. It's patience. And like the youth is not willing to wait because they want it now.
Like that instant
gratification thing.
Is that like, okay, I see it's benefiting me now. Let me just go this route because I know if I pray for it now, I'll get it tomorrow. That's how life goes on. But it's a thing of with Christianity. There's patience, but now it's like, will it happen? Will it not happen? When you believe, and all of a sudden you just like, because some people have a fear of like, you know what, I've been, praying to God and asking for all the things I want, and I put in the work, and now you're now 40 or 45 and still nothing. You're like, you understand? That's the fear, in which we say God says that don't have fear. You understand? But if you look into reality as well, you need to think and be like, you know what? It's all about your belief at the end of the day. What you believe. Some people will say that here's an opportunity that went past. You didn't see that as an opportunity. Other people did. And they used it. But then to use like, nah, it's a bad opportunity in your eyes. But in their eyes, it wasn't. You understand? So maybe that's what the youth is like going through now, in the sense that, you know what? Me following all these people, listening to this, wearing this, I'm getting this now. I'm feeling happy. You understand? And then that's where they realize that, you know what, God, the patience, we're not sure. But at the end of the day, what makes them say that they're not even believing in God? What if they do? Because there are some people out there behind closed doors, they know that, you know what, I believe in God, I'll pray. But it's just that when I take it out there, it's going to ruin my like reputation type of a thing, because the way people think of Christians is like, nah, you always this and that and that and that, because that's how it is. People like always like to point out what you're doing wrong, but they never say the things you are doing right. You understand? So that's what I think, my opinion at the end of the day. I don't think there's a time and age to start believing in God. It's up to a person. Maybe some people believe in God because they went through something in life, a traumatic experience, or maybe a beautiful experience that make them resort to God and be like, wow, something good happened to me. Let's worship, let's believe in God. And then some will be like, yo, literally, I've been doing bad things in my life, and this time it got me. Nah, let's resort to God. You understand? So it's not a thing with like age when you're 18 or all of that. Now you need to start believing it. Like it's life.
It's all about you, bro.
It's all about you.
Because it's also circumstantial, bro. There's this whole thing of believing in God and the time it happens it's all based on how your life goes. Because then we cannot, because it's like in the same breath, we cannot say someone who's born in an atheist family is a bad person because all they know is not to believe in God. So is that a bad person automatically? No. They were born into that family. So it's all circumstantial. So whether you start believing in God when it happens, what age, that doesn't, bro.
And God is closer to you than you think. Because I think another big thing is that like the moment you start saying, when are you gonna believe in God? The first thing on my mind is, I need to go to church, Christianity. That's the first problem. Is like you don't need to believe in Christianity to believe in God. You don't even need to follow any religion to believe in God. Like this guy said, God is within you, bro. Like you're
the body of Christ.
So you just if you being in nature, like alone, just gets you feeling like, okay, there's something bigger than me out here that's controlling. That's God to you.
My fault. I just want to say this real quick, right? I like what Willie said. He just whispered a little bit. My fault. He said, what did he say? My fault. He said, what
all the body of Christ.
He said, more or less like with God. So it's a thing of, bro, it depends on, that's what I said earlier on, it depends on the religion you follow, bro. It literally more or less. Some people will say another thing, you will say another thing. Just at the end of the day, as long as we agree that there is a God, fair enough.
I'm raised in a family where like my mom used to take me and my brother to church, right?
Yeah.
But then my dad never used to go. So I could never understand, okay, we going to church, but my dad is staying at home.
Yeah.
But then my dad also follows, I think, the teachings of Christ in his own way. He just doesn't go to church. He doesn't like the church.
Yeah.
And then my mom also, sooner or later, she also stopped going. But then one thing I can tell you is that these guys, I feel personally, these guys have shown me God better than anyone I've seen try to say, here's God in the church or here's God in the mosque. So I feel like I kind of went closer to my ancestors in terms of like I view God through them. So like I'll say, okay, can you please be my mouth, my voice to God, just so that like my prayer is stronger.
Yeah.
So I follow God through the people who came before me.
Yeah.
Because I believe they're the ones who are guiding me. Because like I said at the beginning, and I
closer.
said at the beginning that like, yo, in this world we came to fight, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like my allies, my ancestors who know me better than anyone will have my best interest at heart. And they will basically also, in their own spiritual world, fight for me so that my voice is heard with God, you see. So that's how I view the thing. And my parents are more like, they're more lukewarm, they're more, I don't know what they are, bro, but I'm definitely more closer to my ancestors than I am to Christian faith,
When it comes to following my parents in Christianity, is that I know my mom and my dad, my mom is churchgoer, you know, she goes to church because my grandfather was a priest, you know, so when she was born, it was a tradition that we go to church every Sunday and Wednesdays, you know, and then obviously with my mom, she took me and my sister to church, you know, because that's what she was taught, you know. Now she's teaching her kids. And my dad was just like, I won't lie, my dad went to church because he knew would find my mom there. You understand? So that was the opportunity he took to go to church. But then as time goes by, I realized that, you know, I actually had to like, because I was put into so many things like confirmation because I'm Anglican. And now it got to a point where like, I don't understand what am I doing, you know? But now for my mom, it was a tradition that she kind of, I don't want to say imposed, but she told me that, no, at the age of 16, this is what you have to do, you know? And for me, I'm like, you know what, let's just follow our parents' rules because they know what's best for us. But now as time goes by, I'm like, hey, you know, if one had time to not commit himself to something that he doesn't know, you know, let me just understand Christianity. Before God, let me just understand Christianity because we're following a belief here. So now it's to a point where like, I'm not really sure if I was actually supposed to be confirmed or maybe tell my mom, yo, let me grow up first. Let me go through life and see if Christianity is the way for me. But I know God is, but let me see if I want to follow this path because for me, it's a thing that if I want to follow a certain religion, I want to do everything to the T. And I want to be comfortable with the thing of all these 10 commandments. I need to follow them to the T. I cannot just only do 9 and leave out 1.
True.
But now it's a thing of I'm not ready for that. You know, so that's what kind of like buzzes me right now is that like, I'm really not sure. So that's why I'm saying, Guti, at this point in time right now, I don't know what I'm doing, whether it's right or wrong. But I know the God within me, I feel good things and I believe it's good. And I just do what I have to do. And if it's wrong, there's consequences for that. We learn. That brings us closer to God. You understand? Just live life. Like Speedy said, it's all a fight. You don't know why you're here. You don't know what brought you here. Just live life. All the lessons will come into power. That will bring you towards God. You understand? So that's literally for me.
I respect that. I mentioned that how I agree with Speed on the first part, and then the second part I disagree. And it's basically, if I'm being honest, it's because of my belief. I'm trying to be the type of Christian where I follow up to the T, but it is difficult.
It is
difficult. But and one thing you guys can explain to me now. I don't understand how us as humans, us as humans, right? We don't have me personally, I don't think we have an unnatural ability. Yes, there are some gammas, I'm not going to dwell into that, but I don't think that I can pass away now and then a couple of generations after, for example, my bloodline, I will have the ability to possess or know their future, or like know that, okay, what I have for you, I want you to go to, for example, to this place and that place, and you'll find purpose in that place. I don't think I, as a human being that has lived or not, I don't have the power. I don't think I have the power to do that. So if you guys can explain, I'd appreciate it.
I'll gladly explain in my own words, because I'm not even African tradition, first off, like, because they also just follow their own thing, and I'm like, hey, I like my, like, that's the thing, I'm not too deep into it, but I know for a fact that I don't turn down my ancestors, not at all. So like for me, it's not, I don't play into the thing of my ancestors are so strong that like they are the same level of God. Nah, all I'm saying is that like, because they've been here, they've walked this life. That's factual, right? They've walked this life. They know that like, okay, like I know I have intuition, right? It's just I have a feeling that like my ancestors who are up there or below there, they can see where my road is going. Like, let's say if I go onto the freeway, right? There's a very big possibility that I might go and get an accident. I believe that, okay, my ancestors have made sure that that does not happen to me. I don't believe that like I can pray to my ancestor and then here's a car. I don't believe things like that. But definitely if I see someone in my dream and that person tells me, like maybe it's like an omen. If I see someone in my dream, maybe it's my granny, and she happens to be smiling at me and she's happy, that just tells me that she's happy with the way I'm living my life right now. Or same, if I happen to see someone who I know and they're angry, that's just telling me that, okay, this person is not happy with the way I'm living my life. But I don't think they have the status of this all-encompassing, this all-great power of God. I don't think they have that, but definitely they are a stepping stone for me to get there.
I respect that. I feel that. I just, if I'm being, I have quite some confusion when you say dreams, because do you agree with me that the mind can go into certain like things that are just, they don't make sense? When you dream, you can have some weird dreams.
Definitely.
So I've had this thing. I remember when I was younger, my mom was like, Limo, if someone approaches you and gives you a sweet, don't take it. I'm like, okay. She told me that she had a dream that I took a sweet from someone and I died. But that didn't happen. So you believe that if you see a dream of someone that you know, it means significance. It means that something were to happen or they were happy.
Yeah, I think it's not, I don't take every dream like literally.
Like that serious.
Yeah, but like there are certain dreams that make sense, because I remember, for example, I had a cousin, right? She did not come out and say she's pregnant. But for some reason, I had a dream that there was a baby girl running around in the house. And I said that, and then later on she said, oh, she's pregnant. She didn't mention it. And that baby happened to be a girl. So small things like that, they happen. And I have a granny she has very strong dreams, right? Which means a lot of the time she can dream something and then it will have a meaning in this real life. So it will maybe mean good and it will mean bad. That's what I'm saying.
Nah, I feel that.
I also might know, and I've also met like a few people that are like that, that like can tell. But like, and those people are living. Like they dream and they tell you like, hey bro, you must watch out or something like that. But like I know, like also the whole dreaming thing and seeing things, it can be spiritual.
Different spiritual gifts.
It can be spiritual, but like it can also, like some people don't look at it like as spiritual. Some people look at it as just like, I've dreamed, I'll be honest, I've had dreams and then I went to go Google what the dream means. And I wouldn't necessarily call that spiritual. That's just me being curious of like, why did I dream that? You understand? So it's different, you see. But yeah, I feel like with the whole dreams thing, it is very debatable. But sometimes it can come off very spiritual. But I think based on also how the person is gonna like explain it to you and stuff like that, and how you also understand it.
Hence after every sentence Billy said, I said I respect that, because I do respect that. I don't believe in that. I just believe in the plans that God has for me. But fair enough, bro. I was just curious on that. I wanted to know more about it, but respectfully, I must still stick to what I know.
And also, if in the comment section, if you guys know more, you guys can let us know.
Yeah, for me, I'm happy to. Don't look at me as someone who knows everything, bro. I'm still in high school. I'm still trying to figure out things. Well, I'm just living my life based on things that make sense to me. But how do you just pray? Like, the reason why I'm asking this question, because one of my boys, it was New Year's last year. I mean, it was this year, right? And we're like, all right, just let's pray. And we prayed, right? And it was his turn to pray. And I'm a say what he said, but I'm not gonna say it to T. It's like, God, what's up? I just pray for, this year to be full of money, girls, cars, maybe opportunities.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to bro, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not judging him. I just realized that, bro, maybe he's praying like that because no one necessarily taught him how to pray. He's just been praying based off maybe what he's seen on TV or maybe whatever.
True.
So how do you guys go into prayer? Like, is it teachable? Is it something that you learn? Or
Me, I'm just raw.
you're raw?
Yeah,
I'm
me
raw.
just to speak.
Even if I'm mad and angry, I tell him. I'm like,
Mad.
oh, I'm just raw. Even when I pray, normally I would pray when I would like things to happen because I know, you know what. I'll be like, oh God, I've been on this thing for a long time, and I just like it to succeed.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't succeed at the time, I'll go for 2 weeks. I'm angry. We're beefing now, that type of a thing.
Fair enough.
And then maybe that's when I'll be like, okay, you know what? Let's pray again. Me, I won't lie. Like, sometimes I do get mad. You understand?
Yeah.
And it's a thing. I also get mad at myself because the God within me.
Yeah.
That like you could have done it this way. Because at the end of the day, I'm the one controlling my body.
Yeah.
People believe that it's God, but I'm the one controlling my body. And it's like, when I'm angry because I did something wrong, I blame myself, but I'm like, God, like, you could have done this, So sometimes I just vent out whatever I have, But I have this tendency of like, if I pray for something and then it doesn't happen, I'll give it like a week. Then I know, like, let's just go back. We ease now. We're not angry anymore, because I believe in like good energy when you want something, So it's not easy for me to pray for something when I'm actually angry.
So like you pray when you seeking out like opportunity.
Yeah, I pray when I'm seeking out opportunities. And when those opportunities come,
thanks.
I pray. I give thanks to them. But if it doesn't happen, I don't pray.
So you don't pray like on the day, like to start off the day on a beginning. You just pray when you feel there's a need to.
Yeah, when I feel like there's a need to, I just think. But I every night, thank God, thank God. That's me every night. But I don't close my eyes and I just say thank God, thank God.
Yeah.
With me, I try to pray 3 times a day, but it's quite difficult because I forget. But if I could remember, as I age, I want to try maybe get it to 5. Reason why? Because I said earlier on, me personally, I'm dependent on God. I know that, bro, I can't do this thing on alone. I know I want to be in a position in the future where I can help my friends, my family, and provide for them. And I know I can't do that alone with my own strength. So hence, I try to depend on the Lord. And my prayers would differ in terms of for people, in terms of for me. But it's mostly when I pray, I don't pray in the current moment and say, thank you, God, for example, for picking me up. I say, thank you, God, for, let's say I'm praying for a car. Thank you, God, for blessing me with a car. Basically manifesting that it's going to happen. I don't know what car it is. I'm not saying I want it to be a Lamborghini, but I trust that it's according to your plan to get a car. So for me to bless me with a car. So that's basically my ways of doing it. But back to my boy, I'm going to let you speak. Dude, I think there also needs to be a respect. Like, you can be raw. Go ahead, be raw and say, I'm upset, I'm this. But you can't necessarily use the language, in my opinion. Maybe you can. There's some people that do. But cast, you can't necessarily swear, in my opinion. I think there's a certain level of, respect and... not respect,
but some people do.
Yeah, some people do cuss.
But I get like the way people. For me, the way you pray also goes by how you see God at the end of the day.
Yeah,
it's just how you view God. It's how you treat the whole communication with Him. But like me, I don't have a single structure. I don't try to pray 3 times a day or 5 times, or I don't pray when I want to. I pray whenever. I prayed like 2 minutes ago, just saying thank you, God. Like in this very seat, I just pray whenever I can pray. 50.
You can pray.
I can pray 28
like right
times
now,
a day if I want to.
That's
if
true.
I want to go on my knees 28 times, but tomorrow I want to go 5 times, I do. I just pray whenever I want to pray. If I don't pray in the morning, I'll pray like maybe 10 minutes after I woke up. I'll pray when I just get to school. But I pray whenever. I don't necessarily have a certain structure. And like even when I start going into prayer, there's no certain structure. But I do start with like Our Father up in heaven. Like that's how I start my prayer. And then I go to thanks. And then I go to repentance and then opportunity. So that's just how I go about my prayer. Yeah. And then if there's anything else, other than that, I just vent. I just go about my day.
That's actually crazy because mine is quite similar in terms of structure. I just start off with thanks, and then would be grandparents, aunts and uncles, friends, family, and then I'm the last person. I don't like to pray about myself first. I pray about myself last.
I pray about myself first.
I feel that. And I appreciate you for being real.
Yeah, no, I pray about myself first. Like for me, I love myself first. First is God within me. Then it's me. Then other people follow. Because I feel like my cup needs to be full to fill up other people as well. Yeah, so I love myself first. So I pray about myself first and then pray about the others.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pray
and
for
I
others.
also pray. But I found myself praying a lot of the time when I've already done the work. Like, and I have this tendency to only pray like when I feel the presence of something higher than me. Then I pray. It's hard. I've tried the thing of like, pray every day. I just feel that I'm not being genuine in my prayer. I don't feel the need to pray. So I only pray when I feel that need. Sometimes it happens when I'm in trouble. Sometimes it happens when things are going good for me. I'll be grateful. I'll just say thank you. But yeah, I don't do the everyday prayer. I just feel like I'm not being real.
I feel like prayer, nah, or maybe I feel like I in that context, nah, I also don't pray like I pray every day, but like I think there's a difference because even saying thank you to God is already praying. That means you pray every day. But like there's a difference between just saying thank you and stuff like that and praying deeply, like talking.
Communication.
Because both of them are prayer.
I'm happy you highlighted that.
Yeah, because I feel like both of them are still prayer.
It's still prayer, but
because even if you say thank you to God, if you're gonna say thank you to God to like you said it last time, you're gonna say it tonight, that means you're praying every day. Just saying thank you, God, is praying already. You feel me? So I think
your prayer,
it's there's no serious praying and like
and I don't I don't think there's a
praying is praying.
Praying is praying. There's no degree of like you know there are who pray for an hour. There's ones who pray for 2 minutes.
Or those who pray
just prayer.
Exactly.
You know,
a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people get into me later and say, "Yo, that guy prays for 3 hours. I only pray for 5 minutes, bro." It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Your one prayer a day, it's still beneficial because imagine yourself.
Because it's your bond with God.
It's communication.
It's literally you and Him.
The same way you message your friends, family, you put in an effort to communicate with them. You have to try put in an effort with the Lord, communicate. You know, it's not easy, but I forget a lot. But I just try to implement it.
Yeah.
Especially because with me, I have to make sure it's 3 times a day, so I forget. Sometimes I'm too busy.
Yeah. So. Wait, for you, can I ask, like, you do it 3 times a day, like, the whole reason for it is behind, like, why? Is it like you getting, you just thanking Him for the fact that you just getting another opportunity to pray, or you just, like, just enjoy it? Just, like,
I think it's because, Jesus Christ is more or less, I try to view him as a friend.
Okay.
So communicate to him as much as possible. So it would be when I wake up in the morning at 12 in the afternoon and 7:30 in the evening. That's my time where I find a camera available to maneuver.
So you missed the prayer already, basically.
Yeah, I did. That's true. I missed it right now. So it's a thing of, it's easy for me to miss it, but I punish myself. Not in a way that, I'm like, yo, bro, you need to do it. And then if I find time, I do it. But it's a thing of, it makes sense to me. Other people doesn't make sense. My parents didn't tell me to do it. I make the decision. In terms of earlier on, we spoke about how we started in terms of religion. With me, I started going to church with my family. Now I'm the one that goes to church, but we're still Christians. I'm just making the decision on my own to go to church. So yeah.
Oh wait, and they can ask you, Jays, the whole church thing. We didn't touch on it. Do you guys think like it's easier to get a relationship with God in church than like outside? Or like
for me,
is it the person that gets the relationship with God outside of church? Is it can we still put them on the same pedestal as someone that
goes to church?
Me, everyone is the same to me, equal. I treat everybody the same. I respect everybody the same. And me for church is like, I see it more as like networking. You understand? Meeting people who will give you advice. You know, they share a message that may be powerful. You share a message as well. You know, but it's not like my relationship with God. I can have a relationship with God anywhere I am. You understand? Anywhere. And I'm not gonna be like, anyway, even at the club, I'll have a relationship with God at the club. You understand? So for me, church is like,
but that goes against something.
Yeah, but it's
like
that's what I'm gonna be real. I was studying, but then when you said
I'm gonna be. I know it goes against something.
You can pray. You can pray at the club, and you can just simply say, "Yo, God, please."
Thank you for like
that's true.
But you know,
the reason why I stopped nodding because of like what context. If you say I arrive, all right, thank God. But
no, it's a thing of like, you know what, I'm here, and you know things get shaky at the club, so you just want to be protected. Instead of like closing off God in situations where 100%. You know you may not supposed to be there, or you know it's shady, just take him everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, you understand? So, but for me, church is like, if I don't feel like church, I don't feel like church. I don't go. I don't wake up. You understand? It's the same thing. And if I go, it's because, you know what? Let me just go hear the word of the Lord. And I would go there because, you know what? Something bad happened during the week, let's go. Something good happened during the week. It's literally how I feel. But I don't feel guilty if I don't go. I don't feel guilty if, you know, like, but when it comes to people, people who go to church and people who don't, you are literally on the same level. I respect you the same way.
With me, last week I didn't go to church. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, one of the best days in terms of spiritually. I felt so that's with me. I think I will go to church because mainly for the gospel, like to hear, the Christian music, the gospel, that just it fills my spirit. Your spirit is like, it also needs to eat. Eating can be prayer, can be music. I mean, the gospel can be hearing the word of God, can be reading the word of God. So you need to fill up your spirit as well. It needs to eat, because if you don't feed it, unfortunately, the devil's like a lion. He'll devour you in the aspects where you fall weakened. You know what I'm saying? So I just go to church in terms of filling up my spirits with the message of the day over there. And
true.
But I'll be lying to you if I said that if I don't go, I do feel guilty.
I do feel guilty when you don't go to church.
I do feel guilty.
And then you guys?
I don't go to church.
I also don't go
at
to
all.
church. At all,
bro. I used to though. I've been to church like when I was younger. I used to go to this church like because I used to stay in Soweto, and like we used to go to the. I forgot the name,
St.
but
Stephen's.
like my mom still goes. But like
St. Stephen's.
Oh yeah. Where they try. You know those churches?
I don't know. Wait, I don't know.
Now, so is those churches in the chat in the comment? You got. Yeah,
Methodist church.
Where like the grannies wear red.
Yeah,
stop those.
My granny's
the grannies wear red.
Yeah, they wear red. But like, I used to go to that church
those churches
when I was young.
are nice.
Yeah, those churches are like
nice.
when they start singing.
But I just don't
like
feel it.
I'm just not cultured, so I don't understand because it's saying Tswana. But you feel the gospel.
Like
you feel the kicks, bro. You know the kicks. I rate.
So I used to go to that. And then like when I moved to like in the north, then I went to this other church in like Pretoria. And then after I don't know, when my parents stopped going to church, obviously I can't say, okay guys, at the time I was young, so I couldn't like go by myself. And like ever since then I haven't gone. But like in my own room in my house, I have my relationship with God and stuff. So
And I think I mentioned earlier on as well that finding a church is important. It's not easy, so you just gotta find a church. But the question was, why do I more or less go to church, if I understood it correctly? Yeah, it was 2020, it was like peak COVID. And I remember, dude, I was lost in terms of like, bro, my sense of thinking was, bro, does God even rate me? Like, I remember asking myself, I was like, bro, does God even rate me or love me? Because I felt so, I don't know, I just felt so out of rhythm. And then I was trying to read Joel Austin, American Preacher, his book. It helped me. But that's when I started praying at 7:30. And then I realized, was it 2021 or 2022 when I started going to church? And I just felt so much better in terms of, okay, I'm in rhythm now, I feel good. So that was my reason of like, bro, I need to lock in with God. That was 2020. Like, okay, bro, hey,
makes sense.
I'm not feeling good spiritually. I was like feeling bad. Like family was good, thank God. Nothing bad happened to my family, but because it was COVID. But spiritually, I was like, I don't know, I don't feel good.
How do we get the youth to speak about God and find comfort in these kinds of conversations? And like knowing the youth, knowing you guys watching, and us, some of us. Well, I know I'm a victim to it sometimes. We like tend to just like listen to what public figures are saying, someone who has more money is saying,
Facts.
and things like that. Because I know you believe like in the world, those are the people you should listen to, those who are better than you.
Who already made
but like
it.
we forget about God and Christianity and all of that. So how do we make it cool? Just make it a conversation like we've tried to. And we hope you guys are still watching. You better not, But so like how do we just make this cool and like a consistent thing, an everyday thing, and not necessarily to go to church, but like just to know who you are and find your belief if you want to and such things.
For me, what I can like tell people is that like, and this is a personal situation, right? Because I know I worked so hard, guys, last year in terms of university, right? I pushed. I think I got a over 70% average, right? But then the problem became I can't pay my fees to register for this year. And there were no bursaries that were knocking. And like I literally did everything in my power. I applied everywhere for a bursary. Bro, I worked so hard and I got the marks that proved that, okay, I worked hard, right?
Yeah.
And now I was stuck at like a crossroad of like, okay, what now? Because I've done everything. And then my parents told me that, okay, not everything is in your control. And that situation showed me that, not everything is in my control. Sometimes I have to let go and let God, basically. So you're going to be met with times where like you really need to let go and let God, because in this world, not everything is in our control. I can put on the seatbelt, I can drive on 60, and I can still die.
Facts.
Because someone else is being reckless. So I think just open up to like, open up to God in like things you cannot do. Like I know there's a Alcoholics Anonymous. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
I haven't heard of it.
It's basically like it's an organization that helps people who are alcoholics, right?
Yeah.
And they have a prayer. They say, God, give me the strength to change the things that can and ought to be changed, the serenity to, It's the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, and the wisdom to know the difference. So that's the thing. I think like just be open to God in terms of like there are things you cannot control. Put God in your life at that moment where you cannot control something. Bring God in, because you cannot do anything. So yeah, that's how I say people can bring the youth closer to God in terms of like just show them that like when they have done everything and they don't know what to do, let God, that's where God plays his role, where you don't know what to do anymore.
And maybe it's like slowly in that way, they'll start just putting God in their whole life.
Slowly, slowly. Instead of like imposing
it on them with full force. Yeah, because it may be hard for someone who does not believe in God, and all of a sudden they must just start believing God tomorrow, just like that.
Just
the way
like
you
that,
do, it's not the same. So maybe I guess that can help, because then you tell someone, okay, dog, like you've tried everything and like this is what's left, and like if they try this, maybe it'll lead you out of your the maze. It'll take you out of your struggles and stuff. Yeah, that makes sense. Me personally, I genuinely don't know, bro, because I also feel it, like you as a person, dog, you'll feel it when like dog, there's something missing in me, like that I need, and I can't tell you how you're gonna find that thing, because you know yourself. You feel me? So I won't say talk to friends, talk to people. Hey, bro, you know me. I don't even lie. In my family, with my friends, I never really had like a conversation about God where that made me start believing in God. Yeah. I never ever spoke to my parents and like that started making me believe in God and stuff. You understand? Or friends. It just happened. You understand? Through certain like experiences.
Life experiences.
Life
experiences like brought me closer, but like that's what took me there. You understand? And I'm not even like the perfect Christian, or not even, trust me.
Yeah,
that's
how I still make flops.
Exactly. So just answering the question to someone, it's just like, bro, you will know, and you get there if that's what you want, And if you're that person that just wants a relationship with God, like you just want one. Hey, bro, it will happen.
Yeah.
I don't want to say do this and that. Well, different.
So at the end of the day, it's not like there's not really much a public figure can do. To
because public figures will be public figures, bro.
Yeah, because public figures are public figures. Yeah. You understand? Some of them, they do worship God. Some of them don't, even though you see it differently.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, you'll see that, okay, your acts don't show that you're worshiping God, but who are you to say that they don't worship God? You don't know them.
You don't know them.
We spoke about that in that episode. You don't know me.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, obviously this is an incorrect way of worshiping the Christian, God. But like you'll find that you're a public figure who's misleading the whole world, But they're behind closed doors. He believes in God, but he's just doing this for the bag.
Exactly.
He's doing this for the money. He's doing this to get there. You understand? But then,
and you'd find that, public figure believes that's what God told him to do.
Told him, or whatever.
Yeah.
So, hey, bro, I don't know. But we can't tell you. I don't believe I can tell you.
2 words can be enough. God loves you. That can be enough. You understand?
3 words.
Yeah. 3 words. Yeah. God loves you. Nah, God. Yeah, 3 words.
God loves you.
3 words. 3 words. That can be enough. You understand? But maybe let's just try and understand people. Understand the youth. All of us, as guys, as gents. Let's say, guys, what's your purpose in life? Before we just put God in the center. What's your purpose in life? Can you achieve this? Can you achieve this? Okay, let me just bring in God. Okay, you can't control, like what Speedy say, you can't control this. This is why I say rely on God in this position. But other things that you can at least
rely on God there. And if you want to add him to all areas of your life, you will.
But I don't think we can have the youth and just tell them God. Hey, they're just gonna push it away.
Yeah, these public figures should come out. Like what Casper Nyovest did, he came out and spoke about God. Like someone like that who was once not much of a believer, from my understanding, has came out now, and to us, his fans, now we can see the kind of person that he is and all that he went through, and he did say that he has his flaws, but like, and he's still not perfect, he's still working on it, but like we can see the person that he's trying to be now, and it's all because he spoke about it. You know what I'm saying? I was open with it, and it's nice, and it's a good thing. Real, he was being real. You understand? So maybe if these public figures can just do that, but with that, that's what I'm saying. Casper did it, but that does not mean all these other people are gonna do it. You understand? Because there's money involved and stuff.
Exactly.
You need to understand
all of that stuff.
All that stuff is involved. So we're not. It's not gonna necessarily happen with everyone, but it's happened with a few people, and it's a beautiful thing to see. But I just think that let's just have I don't want to say have the conversation, but if they're willing to, they will, bro. We cannot force them.
We can't force them.
Yeah.
I think what you said right now, public figures must open up, and like say that what they have done in the past is wrong, and this is how it affected them, and just protect us from going down that lane. You understand? And that enough can put the youth in a good path, right? Maybe to God as well, because another issue is like social media. All we see is good, but then the acts of that are not so good to what we believe. But it's just important that we just have public figures opening up anything that has happened in the past, because I guess maybe that's how people find God.
Maybe I'm assuming like this youth, then they'll find God like when someone. Because like they might not read a Bible or like listen to someone like a priest, but they'll listen to like a Travis Scott that's gonna talk about God.
Travis Scott is gonna say
so
God,
maybe if like Travis Scott wants,
but you can't wait for that. That's my thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't wait for that.
We can't say Travis Scott must talk about God. What if Travis Scott doesn't care about God? And someone that doesn't care about God is not necessarily a bad person. That person just does not care about God.
It's simple.
Understand?
Yeah.
So we can't force it, bro. That's what I'm saying. This question or this problem, I guess, whatever it is, it's not something that's like, hey, bro, it's whatever, bro. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Don't rely on anyone to start speaking about God for you to believe in God, bro. It starts in you, bro.
Yeah, and don't worship.
Stop waiting for a conversation about God so that you can change and start believing. It starts with you. If you feel it in you that there's this presence missing, it starts with you. Then you'll know where to go.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna wait for someone Lil Nas X to start preaching God. Now I start believing in God.
Yeah, don't worship these public figures. Number one.
Yeah.
Just cut that out.
Gents, that was a mouthful. Anyways, just hope that you like, subscribe, comment down, go to season 1 if you haven't watched season 1, continue to go to season 2, catch up to episode 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You can catch us on TikTok and Instagram. Stay tuned. We out.